St. Patrick's Day Comes Early, Kilkelly, Ireland as a single, Johnny Jump Up as a folk song, and as a Celtic rock song by Tuatha Danann, and find out how you can get free St. Patrick's Day music. It's all on Pub Songs and Stories, show number 222. It's time for the Pub Songs Podcast, Celtic and geek music and news from Mark Gunn, the Celtfather, reimagining pub life at pubsong.net. Grab a pint, sláinte! Kilkelly, Ireland, 1860, my dear and loving son John. Your good friend and schoolmaster Pat McNamara, so good as to write these words down. Your brothers have all left to find work in England, the house is all empty and sad. The crop of potatoes is sorely infected, a third to a half of them bad. Your sister Bridget and Patrick O'Donnell are going to be married in June. Your mother says not to work on the railroad and be sure and come on home soon. Kilkelly, Ireland, 1870, my dear and loving son John. Hello to your missus and to your 4 children, may they grow healthy and strong. Michael has got in a wee bit of trouble, I guess that he never will learn. Because of the dampness there's no turf to speak of, now we have nothing to burn. Bridget is happy you named a child for her, although she has 6 of her own. You say you found work, but you don't say what kind or when you will be coming home. Kilkelly, Ireland, 1880, dear Michael and John, my sons, I'm sorry to give you the very sad news that your dear old mother is gone. We buried her down at the church in Kilkelly, your brothers and Bridget were there. You don't have to worry, she died very quickly, remember her in your prayers. And it's so good to hear Michael's returning with money, he's sure to buy land. For the crop has been poor, and the people are selling as fast as they can. Kilkelly, Ireland, 1890, my dear and loving son John. I suppose that I must be close on 80, it's 30 years since you've gone. Because of all the money you've sent me, I'm still living out on my own. Michael has built himself a fine house and Bridget's daughters have grown. Thank you for sending your family pictures, they're lovely young women and men. You say you might even come for a visit, what a joy to see you again. Kilkelly, Ireland, 1892, my dear brother John. I'm sorry I didn't write sooner to tell you that father is gone. He was living with Bridget, she says he was happy and healthy right down to the end. Oh, you should have seen him play with the grandchildren of Pat McNamara, your friend. We buried him alongside of mother down at the Kilkelly churchyard. He was a strong and a feisty old man, considering his life was so hard. And it's funny the way he kept talking about you, he called for you at the end. Oh, why don't you think about coming to visit? What a joy to see you again. Welcome to the Pub Songs and Stories podcast, the virtual public house for Celtic culture through music with a geeky twist. I am your guide. My name is Mark Gunn, and today's show is brought to you by my gun runners on Patreon. Subscribe to the podcast and download free music when you sign up at pubsong.com. So that was the track Kilkelly, Ireland. It's from my upcoming re-release of St. Patrick's Day, and it was also released as a single a couple weeks back. It is a beautiful song. I don't remember where I first heard about the song, but the story goes that a couple brothers were digging in their attic, I think in Maryland, and they found these letters from their great-great-great-grandfather to their great-great-grandfather. And they were a beautiful story and a very sad story, all about the potato blight in the late 1800s. And I recorded it for my CD, Not Every Day is St. Patrick's Day, years ago. And now I'm re-releasing it because, well, I removed that album from distribution, and it's been replaced with a new re-release CD called St. Patrick's Day. And this CD is going to be available. Actually, it's only going to be available for a couple months. If you actually want a physical copy of the CD, it's only going to be available from now into March up to St. Patrick's Day. Then I'm going to discontinue the physical CD. However, the digital is available. You can get it everywhere right now. But if you go to my store at magerecords.com, you will also be able to hear the tracks that change. You see, I added like 2 or 3 tracks, and then I re-recorded a couple songs as well. It's a beautiful mix. And this album was very big part of my growth. I think it was like in 2011 when 2011, yeah, is when I recorded most of the CD. I remember because my daughter Kenzie had just been born, and back in the October before in 2010, and we decided to take a trip to Morehead, Kentucky, where my wife had gone to high school for a brief period of time, and went to this little cabin. It was snowing. It was absolutely beautiful, and she went to go visit and share our new daughter with her best friend in a different town nearby, and I sat there and recorded. I recorded actually 3 CDs. I recorded St. Patrick's Day, Scottish Songs of Drinking Rebellion, and Don't Go Drinking with Hobbits. All 3 of those CDs in one recording session. I just spent the time nailing stuff out as best I could. Then I added instrumentation and released them over the next couple of years. So it was a big project for me, and it was a fun little trip too. What a great way to spend your time recording, to go out into the middle of nowhere and rent a place and then just relax and record. I would love to do that again at some point. If you would like to get 3 MP3s from my St. Patrick's Day album, send an email to gift@pubsong.net. That way you can get a gift from me. There's a whole bunch of freebies that you will get, and you won't be signed up to any mailing list or anything like that. It's just an autoresponder. It'll come straight back to you, and it'll give you a whole bunch of free stuff, including some podcast episodes. It will tell you how to sign up to my mailing list if you'd like to do that, how to subscribe to this podcast if you're not already, and then some free music. So kind of awesome. Send that email, gift@pubsong.net. And of course, if you enjoy this show, please subscribe or post a review in Apple Podcasts. I do love your feedback. Any feedback that you want to provide would be wonderful. All right, so I'm going to sing a song called Johnny Jump Up. And I'm excited about this because, well, you'll find out in a moment. I recorded this for my CD, Happy Songs of Death. Here's Johnny Jump Up. I'll tell you a story that happened to me one day as I went down to Yar by the sea. The sun, it was bright and the day it was warm. Says I, a quiet pint wouldn't do me no harm. I was in and I called for a bottle of stout. Says the barman, I'm sorry, all the beer's sold out. Try whiskey or Paddy, 10 years in the wood. Says I'll try cider, I've heard it is good. I'll never again. If I lived to be 100 or 110, I fell to the ground. I could not get up after drinking a quart of that Johnny Jump Out. After Lord and a third, I made straight for the yard where I bumped into Brothy, the big civic guard. Come here, boy. Why don't you know in the law? And I upped with me fist and I shattered his jaw. He fell to the ground with his knees doubled up, but it wasn't I hit him, 'twas the Johnny Jump Up. And next thing I met down in Europe by the sea was a cripple on crutches, and said he to me, I'm afraid for me life, oh, you'll be hit by a cult, but you help me on down to the Celtic knot bar, for downing a pint of that cider so sweet. He threw down his crutches and danced on his feet. Oh, never again. If I live to be 100 or 110, I fell to the ground. I could not get up out the drink and a cart of the Johnny Jumper. Well, I went up the Lee Road of Brentford to see. They call it the Madhouse in Court by the Lee. And when I got there, sure the truth I will tell, they had the poor bugger locked up in a cell. Said the guards testing him, say these words where you can, around the rugged rocks, the rugged rascal ran. To him I'm not crazy, to him I'm not mad, it was only 6, 7, 12 pints I had. I'll never again, if I live to be 100 or 110, I fell to the ground. I could not get up, had to drink at a quart of that Johnny Jumper. Well, the man died in the mines by the name of McNabb. They washed him and laid him outside on the slab bed. After the coroner's measurements did take, his wife took him home to a bloody fine wake. About 12 o'clock and the beer was high, and the corpse he set up and he says the sigh, I can't get to heaven, they won't let me up till I bring them a cart and that Johnny jump up. I'll never again, if I live to be 100 or 110, I fell to the ground. I could not get up, had to drink and a cart of that Johnny jump up. I'll never again, if I live to be 100 or 110, I fell to the ground. I could not get up, had to drink and a cart of that Johnny jump up.
All right, I'm excited to share this interview because Tuatha Danann is a Celtic metal band out of Brazil. A few months ago, I got an email from Bruno asking me if I would like to sing on their version of Johnny Jump Up. It sounded like fun. Then he sent me a demo of the song, and I was totally floored. It was that good. It was just absolutely amazing. I got really excited about being a part of the project. So I quickly recorded my parts, and my vocals blended really well with Bruno's. It just sounded really good together. So today I'm really happy to welcome Bruno Maia to Pub Songs and Stories. So Bruno, when did you start playing Celtic music?
Yeah, this thing of Celtic music starts when I was really young, maybe with 7, 8 years old. There was a TV cartoon on TV about King Arthur and the Knight of the Round Table. And I was really into that, that was my favorite TV program, And then my mother gave me a book of King Arthur and Excalibur. And on the summary, there was written that the King Arthur's legends belongs to the Celtic mythology. And that word, Celtic, kind of cast me. Was really magical, And I start from that on, always searching for Celtic subjects, Celtic articles on magazines, on encyclopedias. I live in the countryside, so I went to the public libraries, and when I went visiting my grandparents in a different town, I went to the public libraries as well to look for this about the Celts, the Druids, and there wasn't internet. I'm talking about 1988, 1989, and then about the music thing. I had no choice in my life, I would be a musician for sure, My family from both sides is very musical, and I went to rock and metal. So I joined these two passions. I have the Celtic thing and the metal thing,
Why Celtic rock or Celtic metal? Is that a big thing in Brazil?
No, it's not big. Not at all. No way. Even metal is not a big thing in Brazil. Maybe Metallica is big in Brazil, But it's for the passion, We are the band Tuatha is the pioneers in Brazil. We were the first artists to play, to manipulate Celtic and Irish music in Brazil. Our first album is from 1999, but our first demo tapes, these K7 tapes, the first one is from 1996, the second from 1998. But we do it for passion. This is not big, no way, man. But in this metal scenario, maybe 5 years ago, in this metal scene, this style now called folk metal, it increased a bit, and bands like Elevate, Corpi, Clenny, they became a bit popular, a bit known in the scene, but it's not a big thing in Brazil. No way.
Where did you first hear Johnny Jump Up, and how did your version come to be?
I believe the first time I listened to that song was when I was in Dublin around 2005, something like that. I've been to Ireland 3 times, I spent a lot of time, I kind of lived there for some months. And I was always in the sessions and learning and practicing Irish music and tunes and songs. I remember I heard that song there, and later, a little bit later, I listened to the Christy Moore's version. It was all right. But later, maybe some years later, there was a friend of mine, an Irish friend of mine living here in my town, in Virginia, and we were hired to make a guest in a big festival here, And he played the bar, and I would play the guitar or bouzouki, and a friend in the pipes. And he said, "Man, why don't we make that Johnny Jump Up?" And shown me the Gaelic Storm version to practice, to learn, for us to play like that. And we did it. And we do a nice version. We added some parts of ours, some new melodies, new arrangements, and even a different part in the lyric. And I listened to your version on the internet, and I thought, Jesus, why not to call Mark Gunn to join us? It would be deadly. And it really was, All
right, I really got to ask this. Why do you even want me on this song?
I know your work since the beginning of the 2000s. I remember when there was the social media called Orkut. I don't know how you say it in English, but it was before the Facebook boom, right? And I always listen to your versions of songs, of Irish drinking songs and some tunes. So your thing is always been very familiar to me. And when I heard your version, I said, Jesus, we have to call him. And it was very good that you said yes. Thank you, man.
You just released a brand new album. Can you tell me what it's called and name a track on there that people should definitely hear to better understand your band, and not including our song together, which they will hear in a moment?
The name of this album is called Nomine Éireann. It's a mix of Latin. Nomine is in the name of like in nomine Patris, when there's a kind of exercise. In Éireann is from the Gaelic, is the genitive of the Gaelic name of Ireland, in the name of Ireland, something like that. And this is our 7th album, and we thought that we should do a tribute to Irish music and culture, because this is so important in our music and our lives, So we decided to make a full album based on Irish traditional songs and tunes. There's 2 songs we wrote for that, but this was kind of accidental. There's one song, we call it Guns and Pikes. This is very nice. I think people can enjoy this. And the first song of the album is Nick Greg's Jigs is nice as well, I believe.
Guns and Pikes. Awesome. Okay, one final question. Imagine for a moment that this was the album that turned you into a worldwide sensation. Share with me your dream. What would you like to see happen? What would you do?
No, I'm not that young anymore, right? I'm in my 40s. I'm just made 40 two days ago. And now my dream is different. When I was young, with my 20s, I had a different view of things. And now I'm old and wise. I believe I would not be very enthusiastic about the rock and roll way of life, you know. I'd be more straight. I'd love to travel around the world, playing my music, to connecting with people, and if I could keep doing it for life, to make it of a living like we're trying to do for ages, that would be grand. That's the dream. The dream's not dead. The dream is just different. I believe if we still can believe in our music, and until there will be people interested on it, there'll be grand, that'll be wonderful.
You can find more about Tuatha De Danann at tuathadedanann.art.br. You'll find a link in the show notes at pubsong.com for show number 222. And now I am very pleased to share with you their version of Johnny Jump Up. The song is now streaming everywhere and downloadable on all major platforms. It's called The Devil Drink Cider by Tuatha De Danann from Nomine, Éireann.
I'll tell you a story that happened to me. One day as I went down to York by the sea, the sun it was bright and the day it was warm. Says I, you know, pint wouldn't do me no harm.
I went in and I called for a bottle of stout. Said the barman, I'm sorry, the beer's sold out.
Pray whiskey or Paddy's 10 years in the wood.
Says I'll try cider, I've heard that it's good. I'll never again. If I live to 100 or 110.
I fell to the floor and I couldn't get up. After drinking a pint of old Jesus jump up.
After drinking a quart, I went out to the yard, where I met up with Brophy, the big local guard. Come here to me, boy, don't you know I'm the law? Hey, up with me fist and I shattered his jaw.
We fell to the floor and we couldn't get up. But it wasn't me kissed him, 'twas Jesus jump up. And the next thing I met down when you're by the sea was a poor man on crutches and says it to me.
I'll never again. If I live to 100 or 110. I fell to the floor and I couldn't get up. After drinking a pint of old Jesus jump up.
Oh, never again. If I live to 100 or 110, I fell to the floor and I couldn't get up. After drinking a pint of old Jesus jump up.
jump up.
Travel with Celtic Invasion Vacations. Every year I take a small group of Celtic music fans on the relaxing adventure of a lifetime. We don't see everything. Instead, we stay in one area. We get to know the region through its culture, history, and legends. You can join us with an auditory and visual adventure through podcasts and videos. And we're still planning to go to Scotland in 2021. Join the invasion at CelticInvasion.com. And also, I want to remind you, I updated the lyrics of all of the songs I sing in this show. You can find the lyrics and chords so you can play along with me. Just click the song title to find the lyrics or follow the link in the show notes to find more Irish song lyrics and Celtic song lyrics in general. So, upcoming shows. Coffee the Celtfather returns this Thursday at noon Eastern. As usual, Season 8 is coming, and I hope you come join me. It's over on YouTube. January 15th, I'll be at Tucker Brewing Company. They changed their times for the winter season, and so I'll be performing from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. January 21st is the next Celtfather live evening concert at 8 p.m. Tickets are $8. You can find a link in the store, in my store at magerecords.com. January 23rd, Iron Shield Brewing is a brand new brewery that I will be doing in Lawrenceville, Georgia. That's from 7 to 10 p.m. Time for Pub Chat. What are people saying about St. Patrick's Day by Mark Gunn? You can listen to the album for free in my Mage Records store on Bandcamp. Then email me, mark@markgunn.com, or chat in the Celtic Geeks group over on Facebook to let me know what you think of the album. Ratty Boy said on Amazon, wonderful traditional Celtic music. This CD is a beautiful compilation of Celtic music. Absolutely a wonderful album done very professionally. The autoharp combined with Mark's voice on the album and his accompaniment, voices, instruments, is divine to listen to. My suggestion is to buy the CD so you don't lose these gems. A very, very well done CD that I have actually listened to several times already. Simply wonderful. And I think that these are actually reviews for the old Not Every Day St. Patrick's Day. So keep that in mind. But it's basically the same album, so you know. B. Copenhaver reviewed on Amazon. This is a greatest hits collection. Mark is a dynamic performer, and this is a good collection of Irish songs like Rocky Road to Dublin, Old Dun Cow, and more. You should certainly try to see him live. Thank you so much. John White reviewed on Amazon. Another great album from the Celtfather. Many classics reinterpreted in a way that only Mark Gunn can perform them. If you've liked his previous stuff, you'll love this one as well. I do. If you don't like his stuff, well, go drink 3 to 4 pints of Guinness, then come back and listen again. You'll love him for sure then. Thanks, John. I'm not sure if that's a compliment, but I'll take it. River Godby said, I think this should have been called Mark Gunn's Greatest Hits. Thanks, River. C. Brazel said, another great album from Mark Gunn. The Celtfather presents a wonderful collection of music that will speak to the Celt in all of us. And in response to my, I sent out an email a few weeks back called Will It Resonate? And I was asking what people thought about my St. Patrick's Day CD. And Alan Marcotte wrote, Mark, yes, I bought Not Every Day is St. Patrick's Day, and I love it. It has one of my favorite songs on it, Kilkelly, Éireann. I think it has a great mix of songs on it, including some good rebel songs. I hope you and your family are well. Keep up the good work and great music. Renee Jackson emailed, I was listening to one of your CDs today on the way to my father's memorial. Thank you for the music you make. I'm not Irish or even close, but I love the Celtic culture. The emotion and feeling of Irish music is so special. Again, thank you for the music you make. It has meant a lot to me today. Deidre Winnie sent a photo and emailed, Hi, Mark. I'm okay, aside from a headache. Luckily, I can sit in the quiet dark for a few days. I rearranged some stuff and am now a gun runner. I'm excited. You offer so much and you keep on it. I like that. The story of the song you wrote for your wife is sweet. I can't get my husband to write a love note, and we've been married 35 years. I met him on the grounds of a hospital for the mentally ill. I was there for an interview for a position in a house working with mentally challenged women. I got the job and the supervisor of the house. So, did you see my new face mask? No one I have seen gets it. I'll send a pic. The angel has the phone box. And she sent a picture of a weeping angel and doctor. Go check it out. You'll find the picture in the show notes. All right, support what you love. If you enjoy the music in the show, please show your support. Buy music or merch from me and or our guests. You can follow me on streaming and tell a friend, but the best way to support me is to join the Gunrunners Club on Patreon. Patreon funds my songwriting and more. Your support pays for the production and promotion of my music and this podcast. You can find a link in the show notes. And again, a big thanks to Deidre, who is one of my newest patrons. All right, thank y'all. I'm going to finish up with one final song. I hope you had fun. And if you did, let me know. Mark at markgunn.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the show. This is Rocky Road to Dublin from my new album, St. Patrick's Day.
Mary met the maid from my home, I started left the girls at tomb, nearly broke the heart, saluted Pollock dear, kissed my darling mother, drank a pint of beer, my grief and tears smothered, off to reap the corn, leave where I was born, cut a stout like thorn, the banish ghost, and got within a brand new pair of brogues, petted all the bugs, frightened all the dogs, the rocky road to Dublin, 1 street for 5, had the hair and turned her down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, wap-a-la-di-da. Morning of that night, I rested limbs so we started by daylight. Next morning, light and air, took a drop of the pure, keeping us up and sinking, that's a Paddy's cure. And air is on for drinking, see the lasses smile, laughing all the while at my curious style. Sweat so hard to bubble in the axe to fire was hired, wages I required till I was almost tired. The rocky road to Dublin, 1 2 for 5, had the hair and turned down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, wap-a-la-di-da. In Dublin next arrive, I thought such a pretty beast, so soon deprived of view of that fine city. Went took a stroll, all among the quality of underlit stole in a neat locality. Something crossed my mind, then I looked behind the funnel. Could I find upon mistake a wobbling inquiring for the road? Said my cunning brogue wasn't much in vogue, and the rocky road to Dublin, 1 2 for 5, had the hair and turned down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, wap-a-la-di-da. There I got away, my spirits never failed, landed on the cages as the ship was sailing. Captain at me roared, said that no room had he when I jumped aboard a cabin bound for Paddy. Down among the pigs, played some funny rigs, and danced some hardy jigs. The water around me bubbling up of Holyhead, wished myself were dead, but better off instead on the rocky road to Dublin. 1 2 for 5, had the hair and turned down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, wap-a-la-di-da. The boys of Liverpool, when we safely landed, called myself a fool. I could no longer stand it. Blood began to boil. Temper I was losing. Poured errands I oh, they began to abuse. Around me boys as I Shillelagh Island flies, and Galway boys came by. That's all I was, a hobbling with the loud hooray, joining the fray. We quickly cleared the way for the rocky road to Dublin. 1 2 for 5, had the hair and turned down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin. 1 2 for 5, had the hair and turned down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin. 1 2 for 5. Had the hair and turned her down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, wap-a-la-di-da.
The Pub Songs podcast is produced by Mark Gunn. The show is edited by Mitchell Peterson with graphics by Miranda Nelson Designs. To subscribe, go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or to my website where you can subscribe to my mailing list. I'll email you regular updates of my new music and podcast special offers, and you'll get 21 songs for free. Welcome to the pub, pubsong.com.